ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने ओम व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Today we will be discussing 4 suktas from Suktam 22 onwards. Rishi is Vamadeva, Devada, Indra. For Suktam 22, Chandas is Trushtuk. Yanna Indru Jujushe Yachavashti, universal Jivatma, Indra, desiring our welfare, serves us. He is great and is powerful. May he accept our Vedic speeches, praises, a sense of extracted spiritual soma and eulogies. May the abundantly rich Indra come here, wielding his weapon Vajra, which is as hard as stone. May Indra accept all types of oblations offered by the sacrificers. This is the prayer expressed in this slok. 4.22.2. Vrushandhim Chadura. Indra is very powerful, fierce to the wicked, best among leaders of men and endowed with power of speech. He holds in his hands the four-cornered weapon, which is like lightning. With that weapon, Vajra, he illumines the different layers of ignorance covering knowledge, burning these dividing layers for prosperity. With the light of knowledge of the self, Indra, the manifested self, illumines the layers of ignorance covering the self and burns them out, so that the self alone shines in all its glory. Four-cornered weapon may imply the fourfold Vedas. Yo Devo Devatamo Jayamano, as resplendent manifested self, Indra, is the best among the luminaries. He is born great with vast foot and immense strength. Holding his favorite weapon Vajra in his hands, he shakes the space and earth with his strength. Indra, the manifested self, is responsible for the appearance of all forms of matter, from the subtlest space to the grossest earth. This point is being elaborated further in the next slok 22.4. Vishwa Rodhamsi Pravadascha Purvi. All banks of clouds, the many flowing water streams, the space and the earth tremble from the time of birth of that great material cause. He upholds the parents of the mighty Agni. Because of him, the winds make great sound in the atmosphere. Here, the great material cause is imagined to be the manifested self, Indra or Ishvara. This Ishvara or Isha creates subtle matter represented by Hiranyagarbha and gross matter by Virat Purusha. Of parents of Agni are considered to be the space and earth. Basically, the Rik states that the space, earth, Agni and air are manifestations from Indra. 4.22.5. Tatuta Indra Mahato Mahani. O great Indra, these excellent activities of yours are to be certainly propagated among all men in knowledge sacrifices. O destroyer of foes, you who is brave, holding the world with your might, destroy the cloud with destructive Vajra. The fact mentioned in the previous surah is to be made known to all common men who believe that this material universe is real. Manifestation of water is referred to in the last part of the book. Tatu te satya tuvindramna vishwa. 4.22.6. O very valiant Indra, all these activities of yours are true indeed. From that mighty showerer of happiness, excellent speeches stream out. Likewise, O strong-willed Indra, these water streams flow down fast for the fear of you. Here manifestation of water is being attributed to Indra, which is being elaborated further in the rif that follows to 22.7. Atrahate harivasta udevi. O Indra, when you extricate those water particles which are withheld by the cloud from their long time bondage to flow freely as desired, O possessor of spiritual light rays, Indra, there and then those shining water streams start flowing down, making sound Om as though praising you. Sound produced by the rain waters is being imagined to be their thanksgiving praise to Indra for freeing them from the clutches of the cloud. All sounds are encompassed within Om. 4.22.8. Pipile Amsur Madhyona Sindhura. O Indra, you are a giver of delight to all like a river. The good deed and strength of a person who keeps away from unrighteousness approach you. Let nights vanish and rays of that shining one come towards us quickly like a speedy horse with its bridles. Indra is a giver of happiness as Jivatma residing within the heart of human beings. All strengths and activities of a man originate from Jivatma, Indra. May Indra destroy the darkness of ignorance and bring in rays of light of knowledge to a righteous man. This is just gist of the Rig. 4.22.9. Asme Varshishta Krinuhi. O enduring Indra, please bestow on us true, excellent and superior wealth of all kinds. Please make us capable of overcoming our enemies who are like clouds, and demolish the weapons of a malevolent man who is the hireling of wicked persons. This may not need any further explanation. 4.22.10. O Indra, please listen to our words specially and bestow upon us the wonderful food and strength. Please exhort us to develop good intellect. O abundantly rich Indra, make us know that you are the giver of rays of spiritual light. Please show us that you are giver of light of knowledge. That is the gist of the Ruk. Last Ruk is 4.22.11 and this is the same as 4.16.21, which is Nu Tuta Indra Nu Grinana. We go to the next sutta. Suktam 23. Vamadeva Rishi, Devata Indra, Rita Devatava, Trushtup Chanda, Katha Mahamavrat Avradhat Kasya, Katha Mahamavradhat Kasya 23.1. How can we take that great How can we make that great one go? Pleased with the sacrifice of which just invoker does he enjoy the offered essence of extracted spiritual soma, desiring food and being delighted by it, for which meditative person that great Indra is carrying wealth. In what way should an invoker praise Indra so that his glory grows further? Whose hymns Indra appreciates, and on whom Indra is going to bestow knowledge wealth? These are the questions raised in this book. Ko asya veera sadhamadamava for 23.2. Who is the heroic person who can attain joy with him? In his friendship, who acquires knowledge with his good intellect? When can he get his wonderful wisdom? When will his protective powers serve for the enhancement of knowledge of the praising sacrificer? Implications of the question are: who is fit to enjoy the bliss of Brahman? Who attains self-knowledge? When will he achieve it? When will Indra be pleased to bestow on an invoker his powers to enhance his knowledge? Katha Shrunoti Huyamanam Indra 23.3. How should Indra listen to his invoker? After hearing, how does he know the means of protecting him? What are his earlier established similarities? Why do people call him the sustainer of a learned person? How should Indra respond to the prayers of an invoker? What are the credentials of that invoker for receiving it? What are the credentials of that invoker for receiving his protective powers? On what basis Indra is considered to be the sustainer of a learned person? What way should Indra protect him by giving him appropriate wealth he wants? Next, 23.4. Katha Savadha Shashamano Asya. How can the troubles of an ignorant man vanish? How can a man illumining his wealth and admiring his noble virtues become highly learned? How can an ignorant man take the food or knowledge and accept the truth expressed by me, and that to enjoy it lovingly? An ignorant man's troubles will vanish by teaching and preaching about Indra's wealth and noble qualities. How does an ignorant man comprehend what sage Vamadeva has rendered about Indra in these hymns? Who is willing to accept the truth? Namely, Indra is only the manifestation of the self and not truth. Katha Kadasya Ushaso Yushtav. How can a luminary like Indra have friendship with an ordinary person in the light of spiritual dawn? How can his friendship with thousands of friends who have well-established desire for him extend? When knowledge dawns on a man, can he still have association with the manifested self, Indra? How can knowledge of the self-realized person spread to other self-seekers? These are the questions implied in this ruk. Kimadamatra sakhyam sakibhi. 23.6. O Indra, when shall we declare about our friendship with your friends? All the manifested creations of this wonderful Indra are meant for the happiness of all. The wonderful form of this mover, which is shining like the sun, is desired by all. When should a self-realized person start preaching about Indra's friendship? This material universe, which is the creation of Indra, is meant for all to enjoy. Indra shines with the spiritual light while the sun radiates grass energy. This spiritual light bestows existence and consciousness on all living creatures. Druham jigham san for 23.7. Intending to kill, Indra sharpens his already sharp weapon for destroying enemies who are oppressing and violent and are deniers of Indra. When transgressors of Ruta approach us, that hero Indra destroys the enemies even if they are unknown and far away with his ready army, like the sun dispels darkness of the dawn. Meaning of this ruk is more or less clear as it is. Here enemies could be within the minds of self-seekers. With sharpened weapon, spiritual light, Indra destroys the ignorance-induced ahambhava, which is the main enemy of a self-seeker. It may be appropriate to give a clarification on Ruta here. Birthlessness is truth, Satya. Ruta is the embodiment of eternal laws of nature, which is a manifestation superimposed on birthless Brahman, truth. In other words, Ruta represents nature and the laws governing this manifested universe as observed by the wise sages, and Satya represents oneness, birthlessness. Thus, Ruta corresponds to manifested nature and Satya is oneness, though they are often used indiscriminately. Meaning of this ruk should be clear with this clarification. Rudasya hi Surudha Sandhi Purvi 4.23.8. Based on Ruta, laws of nature only, the waters came into being. Knowledge of Ruta kills false notions or ignorance. Speeches of or about Ruta, which are to be known or knowable, opens the deaf ears of men who are constant movers along the birth-death cycle, who are constant movers along the birth-death cycle. First part of the ruk is easy enough to understand based on the clarification given under the previous ruk. Vedic mantras about Ruta are worth knowing as they throw light on nature, making an ignorant man more knowledgeable. 4.23.9. Rutasya drulha dharunani santi. In the irrevocable body of Ruta, there are many gladdening, supporting bodies. Through Ruta, men obtain good food. Through Ruta, Vedic speeches which are like cows enter Ruta, the eternal laws of nature. Superficial meaning of the ruk may not be difficult to comprehend. All objects exhibit their inherent nature as per Ruta. Ruta is irrevocable. All speeches enter Ruta. or end up in it. Vedic speech contains knowledge about manifested nature. .10 Rhythm Yemana Rhythmit. Whoever retains himself in Rita, he only acquires Rita. The power of Rita, which is a quick mover, is desirous of having a good speech. The mysterious earth containing infinite diverse objects serves for the establishment of Rita. And so also the gratifying space and atmosphere is for Rita only. Power of Rita deserves to be talked about through Vedic hymns, since this infinitely diverse universe appears as per Rita. Nushtuta Indranu Grunana 4.23.11, same as 4.16.21. Essence of this sukta can be summarized as follows. Inner voice of sage Vamadeva, Indra, within him, tells him that changing nature represented by Rita is the sum total of the basic natures of all individual elements in the universe. Rita is a superimposition on birthless Brahman, the truth. Who is going to understand it? Who is willing to accept this truth? 24. Vamadeva, Rishi, Devada, Indra, Trushtup, Chanda and Anushtup. Ka Sushtudesh Sunamindram. Which good praise will bring Indra, the son of might, in front of us for giving wealth? O man, that brave Indra, the lord of rays of light, gives away wealth to a man of admirable deeds. How shall I praise Indra so that he will give us all kinds of wealth, is the meaning of the first part. The other part of the book is self-explanatory. Savrutrahatyehavyasa. That well-praised Indra, while moving into a battle to kill enemies, is to be extolled. He is to be glorified by us. He is possessor of true wealth and is abundantly rich. He gives bliss for a mortal who desires to acquire knowledge with dharma for achieving prosperity. Indra, Jivatma within, helps a person to overcome his internal enemies who are born out of ignorance. So he is being glorified by this high. Indra is endowed with knowledge, truth. He shows the path to truth, Brahman, and bliss associated with the self by means of light of knowledge. 24.3 Taminnaro vihvayante. Him only men invoke in battles and make him the preserver of their bodies. As the sacrificers and others together, keeping away from evils, approach Indra, these men make him their protector in the battle for preservation of their wealth and of their sons and grandsons. Though the self within the heart space of a man is his real preserver, seekers of truth meditate on Indra and realize that he is none other than the manifested self within one's own mind, and he is the one who preserves each one of them, their sons and grandsons included. Indra alone is the protector of self-knowledge. He is the preserver of all kinds of wealth in this universe. Kraduyandik Shritayo 24.4. Fears to the wicked, O Indra. Wealth-seeking men desire to unite together in the attainment of wealth of all kinds. When these men assemble together in such a battle, then only a selected few self-controlled men decide to go to Indra. Men may assemble together to perform different types of sacrifices in honor of Indra for obtaining various kinds of riches, gross, subtle and spiritual. Among these men, only men of self-control meditate on the residing self, as elaborated in the next verse 24.5. Aditha nema indriyam ejanta. Then some men only worship the wealth of Indra. Some others offer fried and cooked grains to him. Yet others give prosperity to human beings. Then some men only take delight in honoring the mighty Indra. Some men seek gross wealth from Indra, offering him gross oblations. Some worship Indra by giving liberal donations to deserving human beings. Then there are a limited few who honor Indra by praiseful hymns. 24.6. Krinotyasmai varivo ya. Whoever does service to him by offering the essence of extracted spiritual soma to Indra, who is desirous of it and serves him conscientiously and selflessly, him only Indra treats as a friend in his battle of day-to-day life for acquisition of wealth. This requires no further elaboration whether Indra is taken as Adhidevik or the manifested self. Soma could be gross, subtle, and spiritual in all these looks, though most appropriately should be spiritual. 4.24.7. Ya Indraya Sunavat Somamadya. Whoever prepares essence of extracted soma to Indra, cooks tasty food and fried grains like yava. Today, Indra, desiring to hear the praises of such a devotee, gives strength to this liberal giver of oblations. Superficially at least here, Adhidevik Indra is being offered gross materials as an oblation. Correspondingly, the strength should mean physical only. 24.8. Yada Samardhyam Vyached Yada Samardhyam Vyached Rghava. When an impetuous man comprehends an assembly of men in battle or in sacrifice, or when a devotee foresees a long-drawn battle, then Indra, the showerer of happiness, strengthened by the oblations, is called for by the extractors of essence, spiritual soma, like a wife at home calling her husband. In the battle of day-to-day life or in a sacrifice, men assemble together to invoke Indra only, since he only resides as Jivatma in their heart spaces. This is the gist of the Rig. 4.24.9. Bhuyasa Vasnamadarat. A trader sells a piece of goods to a buyer for a lower price than its actual value. Later, the seller goes back to the buyer asking him for the full value. Naturally, he does not get anything more since the buyer has paid the price quoted by the seller at the time of the sale. Whether weak or strong, a man should get the value as per the speech at the time of the sale. In any business transaction, the seller and buyer are bound by the terms and conditions at the time of sale. Neither of them can demand a change on the terms of the sale later. This is the essence of the rukh. The significance of this can be seen from the next rukh. Ka imam dashabhir. Who purchases this wealth of mine with 10 speeches, which are like milch cows? When it kills his enemies, then he may give back that to me. Based on the conditions stated in the previous rukh, sage Vamadeva is prepared to sell this hymn containing 10 rukhs to any purchaser for killing his internal enemies. This is the implied meaning of the rukh. Last rukh is the same as 4.16.21. Nushtuta Indranu Granana. We go to the last suktam for the day. Vamadeva Shri, the Indra Devata, Trushtub Chanda. These rukhs are comparatively easy to comprehend without much explanation. 4.25.1. Ko Adyanaryo Devagama. Today, who is the best among men here who desires the company of enlightened persons and friendship of Indra? Or who offers a sense of extracted spiritual soma in the well-kindled fire for protection of wealth that leads men beyond all misery? Sage Vamadeva is asking these questions to the listeners in this knowledge sacrifice. Essentially, they mean, who is ready to hear this praiseful hymn about Indra now? In this sukta also, Soma could be gross, subtle or spiritual. .25.2. Ko nanama vachasa somyaya. Who bows down to manifested self Indra, who is worthy of accepting a sense of extracted spiritual soma with auspicious hymns? Who becomes desirous of acquiring true knowledge? Who desires to cover up all with virtues of Indra, which are like the rays of the sun? Who desires Indra's worship, his friendship and brotherhood? For a wise man, who gives all his protective powers? Some more questions are posed in this rukh. To a man who is ready to glorify Indra, to glorify him, Indra, he gives his protection. This is stated in the last part of the rukh. 4.25.3. Ko Devanamavo Adyavrnise. Who desires the protection of enlightened persons today? Who longs for Aditi, Mother Nature, and his sons and light of knowledge? Whose essence of extracted spiritual soma, Ashwin, Indra and Agni, enjoy to their mental satisfaction? Who wants to know more about Mother Nature and products of nature? Who is there seeking true knowledge about this manifested nature? Invocations of which wise man, Ashwins, Agni, etc. are really fond of. These are the implications of the Rig. Tasma Agni Bharata Sharma 25.4. Upholder of noble virtues, soul of Agni, grants happiness to that person who sees the rising sun for a long time and who says, "We bring offerings to Indra, who is the leader of men and is a well-wisher of the people and the best leader among all leaders of men." This is to be treated as a continuation of the previous rigs. For such a person described above, Agni gives all happiness. Other part of the rig needs no explanation. Further discussion about such a man continues in the next rig, 25.5. Nadam jinandi bhavo dabhra. Violent men and innumerable enemies do not harm such a man. Mother Nature bestows much happiness on him. A performer of noble deeds is dear to Indra. A thoughtful person is dear to him. So also a zealous person and a prosperous man endowed with all kinds of wealth is dear to Indra. Such a man comes to no harm and Mother Nature keeps him happy. Overall meaning of the rig is otherwise easily comprehensible. 25.6. Supravya Prasusha Lesha Prasusha Prashushalesha. Thus, this Indra is zealous, is capable of subduing enemies quickly, and is brave. He cooks food for his admirer. For a lazy person who does nothing for himself or others, he is not attainable. He is not a friend to him, and not a brother, and not easily approachable. To criminals he becomes a destroyer. This rig should be perfectly clear to all. Indra gives protection to people who care for him and not for others. 25.7. Na Revata Panina. Enjoyer of the extracted Soma, Indra, does not establish any friendship with a lazy, non-giving, wealthy tradesman. His useless wealth or knowledge, Indra takes away and kills it. He sides with persons who are his admirers, cooking food for him. A man who gains wealth or knowledge should give it to others. This is the gist of the rig. Last rig. Indram pare avare madhyamasa. Men of exalted nature as well as of base nature, or men who are in between, or men who are constantly on the move, or men of strong determination, or men who stay in their homes, or men engaged in battles or in teaching, all of them glorify Indra. Meaning of this rig should be pretty clear to all. Every living creature really proclaims the greatness of Indra, the manifested self. Here we finish for the day. Viramastavat.